Good day. My name is Brian Smith. I'm a student at Full Sail University, and I'm going for my mobile gaming master's, working on my capstone project, World War I Flying Circus. Just finished with a usability test, and I'm going to take you through the changes I made to World War I Flying Circus based upon the feedback that I had, the most excellent feedback that I had. One of the things that's been a little bit of a problem, it's gotten better, but is the main menu. People really don't quite understand how to drive the slider and the start button. And the same thing with the usability. I mean, with the two people that I had through the usability test, they eventually figured it out. But it's a little bit of anyway. I want to try to help users as much as possible. So for the first time and the first time only, when you come into World War I Flying Circus, fresh out of the box, you're given this hint to say, oh, hey, maybe I need to be sliding this along to check out the different kinds of game modes that I can play here. And then two, the indication to say, okay, once you've worked the slider, then we can press the start button. And if you do that, you go into the balloon busting, you read about balloon busting, say, hey, that's not where I want to go. Go back, surrender, go back to home. And you notice now for the next time, those helpful little hands they're not there. In fact, for the next 1,000 years, if you play World War I Flying Circus, as you come into it, those helpful little hands will not be there to help guide you. So that's something that I've changed to kind of help that first time user and just for that one time. The other is one of my players had a little bit of difficulty for the ground school. I had a paper airplane icon, which I thought was clever, but maybe it was too clever. So I went with a more basic kind of classroom environment, like you're going to be learning how to fly your biplane. They would teach you the ground school rules before they would put you up into the air. And so I think that's a better icon right there. The other is I've settled, and you notice with the hands floating here and the hands sliding there, I've settled on white being kind of the aid and the guide. So if you're looking for help with World War I Flying Circus as I'm delivering additional information, generally it's going to be in white. So like the throttle, left, straight, right, the left, straight, and right, and then the speed, and then also too we're trying to find this maneuver out of the 27 that'll be available down here, and that's all in white. And so I'm kind of settling on that aid or help as white. And also too, with the balloon busting, the goal with it is only to give you the information that you need to solve the task at that time. So one of the things I did, this is based upon a previous comment from Professor Penny, I had additional help or aid information over here about what is the situation you're in, and over here was about this maneuver. And I've combined those two together. So there's only this information over here, and really cut down, I think, the text by about 30% with that. So that was a great advice. But again, kind of following on, only showing the information like this hand here when that's needed, only showing the hand and the information when that's needed. So tap to select, tap again to confirm, and we're off to the races. So that was another enhancements or a series of enhancements that I made there, but kind of largely wrapped around the idea to say, okay, let's make all the help, aid, and assist information as white information. All right, so we'll get out of there. The other is one of the things that I did, and so with I've been having difficulties for a long time with the usability in terms of having the player really understand, which pilot he is. Is he Baron von Red? Is he Lord Olive today? And I kind of changed it around. And that happened again, even with the movement of the player's name to the corner in which the player's information is. I've got the current player underlined. I've got this highlight, this star that's behind the biplane. You notice it's not over here. So even with all that information, all that movement, one of my players, he was, I think, I forget, Lord Olive the first time, and then the next time he was Baron von Red, and he got confused on who he was. All this motion, all this movement wasn't helping him. And so I sat back and I thought about it, and I think I've got my Eureka moment, and that is your biplane is always in the upper left. You notice I moved in the balloon busting, so the balloon health information is in this upper right. So the other guy, the other enemy, is always in the upper right. Your information is always in the upper left, so you can always be looking there. So I'll just run through a real quick little play here, passing to Lord Olive. But notice Lord Olive is over here in the upper left because Lord Olive is the current player. Remember, you're doing pass and play, right? So this device is being physically passed to somebody else, or if you've got network play, you're whatever you are, Lord Olive or Baron von Red is always going to be in that upper left. So it's the active player is always in the upper left there. Lord Olive is playing. Lord Olive can make her maneuver, do a mutual touche. Damage goes off like here. Lord Olive's health. Lord Olive can make another play. And now we're switching it back over to Baron von Red. And Baron von Red always in the upper left. So, the humans would be trained that their information is always in the upper left. The enemy's information will always be upper right. And War I Flying Circus takes care of the rest. Eureka. I think that is ultimately the big answer right there. Then the other is just some additional text in terms of if you're tailing for the first time. I added a little bit extra information there. And then the other is the search and flee. So here we're going to be tailing. So it's past the device. So we're giving them a little extra information about what's going on here. And then we get past to Lord Olive. And of course, Lord Olive now is getting information there. And he's indicating that, hey, I'm being tailed. I don't have the information over here because there's no need to tell Baron von Red that he is tailing, that just Lord Olive is being tailed because Lord Olive is the current player. So I'm keeping that kind of information at a minimal. Lord Olive is going to do a straight maneuver back to Baron von Red, right? And now we got this information over here that Lord Olive is being tailed and Lord Olive is doing that straight maneuver. You notice the helper information again is in white. So that's that, and I'm going to have these and have the one last thing. This is kind of just a minor thing. Let's get out of here. Full speed. And get out of here, full speed. So we can have the lost contact processing. And here, they both individuals in my usability test didn't really quite get that this was search and this was flee. So I was going to add more information, but I think just saying, hey, search, hey, flee, right, allows this, to be pretty easy to understand about who's doing what. So there's the coward and there's the congratulations. So those are some of the changes that I made. Everything works for dogfighting, for the flying against the automaton, and so it's usability testing is just so tremendous. It gets these extra pair of eyes on your product, and so it really allows you to drill down and to help identify some of the problem areas, and then of course coming up with solutions to satisfy that. But it's an iterative process. It's a continuous process, and so I'm always looking for more eyes, more ears to be looking and watching and playing War I Flying Circus as I get that feedback. It's always a challenge being able to mechanically make that happen. So with that, thank you very much. And if you have any thoughts or ideas or comments or letters about how I can make that better, let me know.